Ladies and gentlemen, greetings from your respective positions. This matter between Russia and the Western countries has reached another level. That is to say, the situation has reached its epilogue. After Russia had to declare war on Germany, taking into account Germany's attitude and considering what Germany wants to do, and that if Germany did it, Russia would directly enter into war with it. It is around Poland and the Baltic states that find themselves threatened by Russia. In truth, these are countries that, for some time now, have been preparing for a high-intensity war against Russia. We have had to talk about it very regularly. But the nature of their behavior, which is provocative behavior that sufficiently proves that Poland is preparing to do something, Russia has just seriously threatened Poland. Instead of waiting for the situation to worsen, Russia threatens them and makes them understand that the worst will be observed in their own countries. So, ladies and gentlemen, what has Poland done? And what is the content of the very serious threat that Russia is currently addressing, or has addressed to Poland, and also the Baltic states? And so, in the context of this video conference, that is of course what we are going to discuss. But before continuing, please feel free to share this video conference. Share it as much as possible in all available groups. Give it lots of likes. Don't forget to click on subscribe. Please subscribe, this will ensure you don't miss our video conferences. Let's dive into the depths, dear ladies and gentlemen. Before we get into what Russia had to say, what did Russia state as a threat? Let's first try to see what's happening in Poland. You know, since 2024, both Poland and Germany have washed their hands to say that these countries are no longer providing material support to Ukraine. Poland, just like Germany, had highlighted its very deficient economic situation. But incredibly, Poland, which said it no longer had the financial means to support Ukraine, had a program to prepare its citizens for the possibility of an armed conflict, thus preparing them for war. This program has existed for 3 years. And when did the conflict in Ukraine start? When was it triggered? Since 2022. So approximately 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. That means it's during the same period that they set up this program, because they had in mind that at some point Russia could turn against them, knowing how they are helping Ukraine. So this program was dormant all this time. And it is only recently that they revived this military training program for citizens. If France is preparing for a high-intensity conflict against Russia by distributing survival manuals to its citizens, Poland, on the other hand, prefers to pay bonuses. Any citizen who agrees to spend a day with the army, and after receiving some training, a 1-month training, the day you spend with the army, you are paid a bonus. So it's like a kind of incentive bonus. So citizens are rushing to go spend the day with the army. So the program includes 2 elements: a day with the army and a month of training. For those who do not want it, they can limit themselves first to just one, a day with the army. During this day, they are taught how to handle weapons. According to Polish authorities, it is necessary to familiarize citizens with handling weapons so that Polish society is ready for any eventuality. So they themselves know that Poland is provoking Russia, so it is necessary to prepare the citizens So, they are given money to go. And so, they are getting ready. And all of this sends a very strong message to Vladimir Putin. And Russia has advanced the threat, which is not just a verbal threat. So, let's dive deep. I ask you to share the video conference. Share it as much as possible. What needs to be said first? We have the mayor of Warsaw. I believe it's the capital. The mayor of Warsaw is named Rafał Zakowski. Rafał Zakowski made it public. He broadcasted images of his participation in the training session. He also published a photo of the certificate that was issued to him by the Ministry of Defense. Because when you complete the one-day training, you are given a certificate. This proves that you are aligned with the Polish government's idea. So, the program in question is titled, Train with the Army. So, the one-day training allows participants to become familiar with handling weapons, self-defense techniques, first aid, and survival in difficult conditions. So, for just one day, this is what they are trained in. Firstly, it's to become familiar with handling weapons. Secondly, self-defense techniques. Thirdly, first aid and survival in difficult conditions. So, this is what they are taught on the first day. Those who want to can leave. Those who want to return later can come back for a long-term training this time. So this means that Polish citizens are being trained, just like soldiers. So the mayor of Warsaw says this. He declares that it's an excellent way. He says it's an excellent way to recall or acquire valuable skills. This is what he wrote on his social media, adding, here's what he added. He says, the better prepared we are, the more our society can withstand any crisis. So they are really preparing. This is similar to Poland's neighbors, the Baltic states. But what's curious, as we mentioned at the beginning, is that Poland, which said it didn't have money to pay for military equipment, Poland, which is part of the European Union, NATO, among member countries, outright told Donald Trump that they cannot increase their GDP for defense purposes. Curiously, Poland has increased this year. No. Yes. This year, Poland planned to increase its GDP by 4.7%, meaning to raise its GDP to 4.7%. And yes, no, I made a mistake. Poland has decided to allocate, there we go, I'm getting there. Poland has decided to allocate 4.7% of its GDP to defense in 2025. 4.7% of its GDP allocated to defense. While Donald Trump had said to allocate 5%, the European countries all cried, they refused. So, Poland is multiplying. Basic military education, programs for citizens. So, there is the initiation day, and there is the 1-month training. All of this is paid. They pay money for this. So, in case of war, what will they do in case of war? The Polish Prime Minister, Donald Tusk, launched the idea of a new program for every adult in Poland to be trained in case of war. So, and that's it. This is the program that is continuing. Now, here is Russia's response. Here is the threat that Russia is making. Please share this video conference with me. Share it as much as possible. Russia responds. And it is the head of the Russian Foreign Intelligence Service, Sergei Narishkin, who responds. So, the head of Russian intelligence, he threatens. He says this: in the event of NATO aggression, the first to suffer will be the political circles of Poland and the Baltic countries. So, if NATO attacks Russia, what does NATO say? Whichever NATO country. He says, the first to suffer will be the political circles of Poland. So, the heads of government, the ministers and others, they will be the first to suffer. And those from the Baltic countries as well. Russia spoke simply like that, and Russia limited itself to that. Here is in full what he said. He says this: they should understand, but do not yet understand, that in the event of NATO aggression, the first to suffer will be the political circles of Poland and the Netherlands. So, Poland and the Netherlands are in Russia's sights. So, will they understand, or will these countries continue in their task? Question mark. Anyway, we will continue to follow this current news, and everything that will result from it, we will come back to discuss here on the platform of Awakening of Consciousness. Thank you to everyone. I will be back shortly with new updates. This was the voice of your one and only samurai.